I did a video last year on the 4 phrases of self-sabotage. I want to add something to that. It's a phrase that all of us say. In fact, we say it so much, we don't even realize we're saying it. It's, I feel like. Wait, I feel like. We want to stop saying that because it's not accurate. We almost always, if not always, describe a thought instead of an actual feeling. And it makes us basically just wallow in the negative emotion a little bit longer. So keep watching, and I'm going to tell you the details of why we want to stop saying I feel like and what we can replace it with instead. Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp, and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. There is a passage in the Bible that when I saw the words I was listening to the guy, our preacher here locally in the Charleston church, Jesse Goman. Shout out to you, Jesse. He quoted a verse in the Bible that I want to read to you. It's the verse, Mark chapter 5, verse 29. Okay, so I didn't actually have it ready, so let me do that. Mark 5:29. It says, it's about the woman who was suffering from an illness for years and went and touched Jesus while he was in the crowd, the hem of his cloak. And Jesus said, I felt power go out from me. And it says in verse 29, and immediately the flow of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her disease. Now, this ancient text, when you break it down in the Greek, I'm not a Greek scholar, don't pretend to be, but the word that's used for she felt in her body, I'm going to read it to you specifically. I use the Blue Letter Bible app to do this. One of my all-time favorite apps. I highly recommend it. You can break down and parse the Greek, etc. So Mark 5. Sorry I didn't have this ready. Mark 5:29. That word for felt in her body is ginosko ho soma. So the she felt, ginosko, is the word that's used everywhere else in the New Testament as to know or knew, to think. We've heard of the Gnostics, right? Gnostic. There's so many words in the English language that have that, gnosko in it. It was her thinking something's changed about me. But the way that we've translated this all these years is she felt. This is what we do when we speak, at least in the English language today. Maybe you do it in your country, wherever you are, but we say things like, I feel like, and then we don't describe an emotion or a feeling. Instead, we describe a thought. We state, I feel like I just am not appreciated here anymore. Okay, that's not a feeling. It's an internal dialogue that once we repeat it once or twice or enough times, anytime, maybe even just once, that creates a feeling. But we have been conditioned, our English language has been conditioned to instead say, I feel like. So what I'm asking you to do is to get rid of I feel like unless we train ourselves right afterwards to actually use a feeling word. There is a really great tool called the Plutchik Wheel of Emotion. It probably would be better called the Flower of Emotion, but it's not. It's called the Wheel of Emotion, where it lists all the human emotions that we have. There aren't that many. I think Plato, maybe it's Plato, really listed only 8 basic human emotions, and someone else in the 40s, I think, or 50s, came up with 14. Well, this Plutchik Wheel, it's more than even 22 combined. But it does help us understand what the feeling is that we can then express. Why do we want to express the actual feeling word when we say I feel like? Because studies done by the 2 leading researchers on emotional intelligence, Dr. John Mayer and Peter Salovey, did this experiment where they had people watch a sad, dark movie, and then as the test subject came out, they interviewed them for a period of time. And what they discovered is those that could actually put a feeling word, one of those Plutchik Wheel of Emotion type words, on what they experienced because of the movie were able to get out of the negative emotion many times faster than those who couldn't quite put their finger on the feeling word. Emotionally intelligent people can identify what they're feeling in the given moment. And that does not mean saying, I feel like, and then describing an internal thought. Okay? So if that's not ideal for you, pulling out the Plutchik wheel and getting used to it and picking a feeling word, replace I feel like with I'm telling myself. This is going to take a lot of practice. In fact, with all of my clients, when I first start out with them, I ask their permission to interrupt what they're saying when they say I feel like, and then say to them, now use a feeling word or replace I feel like with I'm telling myself. If we get really good at getting rid of I feel like and instead saying I'm telling myself, what we will learn, and this is increasing our emotional intelligence, is that what we say creates our feelings. Let's take for a moment the idea that you're going to start using a real feeling word when you say I feel like, which is also a healthy practice. Once you say the feeling word, I feel sad. I feel apprehensive. I feel fearful. Then ask yourself, well, what am I saying to myself right now that's making me feel that feeling? I did a video on my thought tuning process where I cover this way more in depth, that piece of it, the technique. But for the sake of this video, please start practicing. Maybe elicit the help of others so you can practice with more than just, your own internal self. Get rid of I'm saying I feel like. We see it scattered throughout the New Testament that we use that word I feel like when the word is really gnosko, I know, and instead say I'm telling myself, okay? That is going to help you climb out of that negative emotion very quickly, increase your emotional intelligence, and allow you to be intentional as you manage yourself and all those employees around you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at Motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform the world.